Hey everybody, it's Bella, and today I'm back with another braiding basics video. So if you've seen any of my hairstyle videos, you'll know that I do a lot of French braiding in them, but this is for people who don't know how to do a French braid or just need a little extra help with how to do it. So if you are a beginner braider who wants to learn how to do a French braid, then just keep watching. So when you're trying a French braid for the first time, I think that it's easiest to start off by working with a smaller section of hair. So I'm just gonna split her hair in half and section off one side. To start off, I'm going to brush out her hair, and it's really important that your doll doesn't have any tangles in her hair because that will make everything a lot more difficult. You're going to start the braid right here where her part begins, so I'm just going to grab a section of hair, and the size of the section doesn't really matter, but if this is your first time trying a French braid, I say not to make it too tiny because it's easier to work when you have a more significant amount of hair. So I'm just taking this section of hair from the front of her head and I'm going to split it into 3 sections. Okay, so I just turned my doll around so that she's facing away from the camera because when you're braiding your doll's hair, this is the viewpoint you'll be seeing it from. So now that I have my 3 sections, I'm just going to braid them normally 3 times. So basically, I'm just going to take the outside section. So this is the section closest to her face, and I'm going to cross it to the middle. And then I'm going to take the inside section, which is closest to her part, and cross it over the middle. So now I've crossed over 2 pieces of hair. And now I'm just going to do it a 3rd time. I'm taking the section closest to her face and crossing it into the middle. So I've just done 3 stitches of a regular braid, and you can see it starting right here. But now we're going to do something different, which will make it a French braid. So what I'm going to do is, since I started by crossing over a section of hair from the front of her face, I'm just going to pick up a section from the front of her face. So the size of the section kind of depends on what you're feeling, but I say when you're starting out, try to pick up a section that is about the same size as the pieces in the middle. So now that I have this section of hair, I'm just going to take it and cross it over into the middle section, just like that. So now the middle section has the original piece and then the piece that I've just folded over. So the middle section is a little bit bigger than the other 2 pieces. So hopefully this is making sense. Now what I'm going to do is go over to the other side, and I'm going to take this section of hair and cross it into the middle. And now that I've put a new section in the middle, I'm going to take a piece of hair from that side, just like that, and I'm going to take it and also cross it into the middle to meet that section that we just put in the middle. And that's basically it. You just keep doing this. So again, I'm taking the section closer to her face, crossing it into the middle, and now I'm taking a section of hair from the side that's closer to her face, and I'm also crossing that into the middle. And I'll show you one more time. Now I'm taking a section that's further from her face, crossing it into the middle, and now I'm going to take a section of hair that's also further from her face, so on the same side as the section of hair I just took, and I'm just going to add that into the middle piece, just like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep braiding down, and I'm going to speed it up because it does take a while, but I'll try not to speed it up too much just so that you can really see how it's working. So once you've braided all the way down and there aren't any sections of hair left to add into the braid, you're just going to keep braiding down just like a regular braid, and this is the easy part. And here you have your very first French braid. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the other side of her head from a different angle in case that makes it more clear for you. And while I'm doing this side, I'll just talk you through a couple tips. So a little tip that I have is when you're grabbing sections of hair, don't just take like a tiny piece from out here and fold it over, because if you do that, then all of this hair right here doesn't get picked up, and at the end of once you get down to the bottom of the braid, you're just gonna have a lot of leftover hair and you're gonna have to keep adding it in, and that's gonna prevent your braid from being nice and tight and close to your head at the bottom of the braid. So just try and pick up the pieces of hair all the way up to the braid instead of just down here at the front. So another tip I have to making your braid look nice is when you're picking up the section of hair, be sure that it's nice and smooth. So sometimes I like to brush it out a little bit with my fingers before I pull it into the braid, and that just helps make it look a lot neater and smoother. And I think the trickiest thing about doing a French braid is that there's just so many sections of hair to hold on to, and it can be a little overwhelming at first. And I can't tell you exactly how you should be holding your doll's hair because everyone's hands are different and everyone prefers something different. But something that I find easier is when you add the section of hair into the middle, you can just squish it together with all of the hair in the middle, and that way you don't have to worry about holding 4 sections and you're really just holding 3. So French braiding is definitely complicated, and it's one of those things that's easier to show than it is to really explain with words. So I'm really hoping that this is making some sort of sense. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the French braid, and you can really tell now that you know how it works. You can really see it. So here is the braid, and you can see how there's sections going in from either side as the braid keeps going down. So I really love French braids because they're a really cool thing to incorporate into your doll's hairstyles. If you do a small one, it's like a really nice accent braid, and if you do one bigger, it makes a really good base for an updo. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions about the French braid, then you can leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer it. If you haven't seen my first braiding basics video, if you click on the card right now, you can see how to do a fishtail braid. And if you want some more hairstyle ideas using this new French braid technique that I just showed today, then you should check out my hairstyles playlist because it includes a lot of different French braids in the videos. And finally, if you didn't know, I have a second channel which has nothing to do with dolls, but it's more like vlogs and fun stuff like that, so feel free to check that out if you're interested. So I hope that this video helped you out. Don't be discouraged if your first braid ends up looking really bad, because mine did too, and you just have to keep working on it. So good luck, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!